Good evening. It's my hope and trust that you are well. Welcome to Farm Drive, and this is where we run our farms and our businesses as an enterprise. And today, this is the famous and the greatest duo you'll ever see in a farmers media. Welcome to Farm Drive. My name is Yoshe Mbogwa.
And of course, the one and only rocking, Hot. You're not ready for this. I'm sure you aren't ready for this. So you need to fasten your belts, your seat belts, wherever you are, and focus. My name is Boss Queen, and welcome to Farm Drive. And of course, this is a farmers media where we connect, learn, grow. And the show right on here is Farm Drive, where you catch up every weekday, Monday to Friday, from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m.
Exactly.
2 good hours of good conversation, great learning, and at least some time, gonna bring some game, right? I think we should introduce something big, something fun, something catchy.
No, I'm telling you, it's very hot in here because the energy that is exactly here with this famous lady. Lazima mimea itatoa matunda.
Tell them even in mother tongue. At least they get to know.
Well, no, I want to keep it that to myself. I'll tell them at the end of this. But welcome very much. Follow us on our social media handles. That is a Farmers Media Facebook and Twitter. And you can also follow me on my social media handles, Gyoshe Mbogwa Twitter and Gyoshe Mbogwa Facebook.
Could you please spell for them the Gyoshe?
That is G-I-O-S-H. You know, basically, we are amongst the few farmers who have our own typical names. Like, no one else has that name. No one else.
Gyoshe.
Yes.
Yo, I've never heard of that. This is the first time I'm hearing Gyoshe Mbogwa. Okay. I'm famous. Mbogwa is famous.
It's a pleasure.
But...
A pleasure. A pleasure.
Or... I don't want to overthink. Huh?
No, don't take it. Don't take it to the next level. But we're welcoming you for this awesome show. Feel at home. Let's begin the conversation. And we said Farm Drive is all about connecting, learning, and growing.
That is basically what a farmers media has in store for you. And always follow. Always. Anytime you want to know anything concerning what you do, in case you have any question, visit our website www.afarmers.com, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at A Farmers Media. Subscribe so that whenever we are on air, you get notified and can join the conversation. In case you missed anything, you'll always go back and review from our videos so that you don't miss a thing.
That simply means whatever we tackled last week, it's still available.
Still available. Even last year, still available.
2 years ago, it's still available. Good content that will take our farming and our practices to the next level.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay?
Yeah.
So that simply means more money, more land, more cars. We're getting better.
And
getting richer.
Of course, venturing into agri-tourism.
Exactly. Oh, that's your
my niche.
Okay.
That's my niche, you know.
So what's
the traveler.
What's all about it? What's all about it?
Agri-tourism, you know, this is something I'd like us to come up and be discussing. And also we'll be taking you through the trips, whereby we make a trip, go visit. Even we decide we're going to South Africa. Let's go and see how South Africa is, how they're doing their farming, what is new they're using, you know, their new techniques in farming, whether in both in land, livestock, aquaculture, their tricks, you know, in Kenya we have a certain trick that they don't know. So for us to go and learn, like benchmark, get to learn, then come back and be like, yo, we went to South Africa, this is what you saw, this is what you got from there. Maybe you can put it into practice. Okay, today we decided to go to Nigeria. Like all over Africa, Australia, you know.
I feel like you need to tag me along in this whole concept.
Definitely.
I need to be tagged.
If you can be sitting close to me, then sitting next to me on a flight won't be a problem.
So we are basically connecting the farmer in Kenya.
Yeah.
And the farmer in South Africa.
In Nigeria.
To have an exchange of ideas.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what basically means by agri-tourism, and it's one of the best. So wherever you're watching from, okay, we can even start within the country.
Okay.
You know, in 034, we can decide. Let's go to which one? Which country?
Let's go to
which county?
County number 32. That's Nakuru.
Nakuru.
Yes.
We can go to Kisumu. We can go to Mombasa. You know, we can exchange. Let's say we're venturing into fishing. We can go to this. We go to Lake Nakuru, Lake Naivasha, Lake Turkana. You know, that is the most forgotten lake actually.
Yes.
The only famous.
Naivasha?
No, Lake Turkana.
Lake Turkana. Oh yeah.
The most forgotten actually, and it has the sweetest fish. If you don't know.
You have been there because
I've been to Turkana.
When we were doing our KCPE, there were these questions that had some choices where you choose A, B, C, D, and you're asked which is not a lake in Kenya.
Yeah.
In fact, Lake Turkana was amongst them because you probably think
does Lake Turkana exist? You know.
I get you, and I know I can't wait for such a moment where we connect even as African farmers.
Yeah, definitely.
Whatever is a new produce in Nigeria can be brought here. You know, we have the exchange of ideas, produce and crops, plants, and everything else.
You know, Kenya. Let's say generally, Africa is a rich country, and it's rich in minerals. At the same time, it has the best soils. So, for instance, in Kenya, I don't think there's something that can't grow in Kenya.
The weather is conducive for...
The weather is conducive. If you want to plant, if there's something that grows in the desert, we already have a desert.
Exactly.
Child B.
It's there.
It's there. We can. If it's somewhere where it's definitely cool and wet, we have Central.
If you want something salty, you know... where you can have palm trees, the rest.
Coastal.
Okay.
You know, like Kenya is very blessed. Like there's a time I was just sitting and trying to think about Kenya. Like this country, analyzing each county and be like, okay. So we are like taking all over Africa, the whole of Africa in one country. And that's Kenya. And we are proud.
Basically, what statistics are saying is that the human population today is at 7 billion and plus. And there are high chances that in the next 10 years, a third of the population will be here. So I think the whole concept of what you have said, integrating and connecting farmers, all over Africa is one of the most important things that governments and organizations should, I think, concentrate on.
Yeah, they should take into consideration. And that's why we're trying to bring you closer using internet and using social media, whereby you can get into contact with us.
Okay.
So that we get to exchange this knowledge. You know, we've been having the issue of food insecurity. And you know, there's this thing I'm trying to figure out and be like, what is this thing that we are not doing right? Every now and then, food insecurity, there's no food, people are dying of hunger. Yet we have the best, like our farmers are doing the best. We don't even have an excuse of not producing enough. So I think a lot needs to be done. I've seen like the Galalukuna. Is it it's Galalukuna or Kunanugan?
Yes, the irrigation.
Kulalugan. Whatever.
That's one. Is there energy in this place? Yes, it's an irrigation scheme.
Yeah, it's an irrigation scheme. And the irrigation, where it has been irrigated, it was supposed to be around 10 acres. Okay. 10,000, but 500 has been irrigated. And that's quite commendable because the place is not even, if you go there, you'll be like, now here, irrigating, planting maize, not possible. But it has been turned into that.
So basically, it simply means, as a country, we have the potential.
But there's something we are not, I don't know, is it the push?
What is that? Because I bet, and from the words of the president, from his the speech he gave on
previously,
on last weekend, he gave a a lot of praise to farmers, saying they're the most hardworking. So we have the good weather, we have the good soil, we have hardworking farmers, we have almost everything. What is failing us? Is it the credit facilities that we don't have? Is it technology? Is it perception? What is the issue? Maybe that's
I think okay, the most hardworking people, let me just be proud, even you're saying the most hardworking people who can venture into farming and do well are women. Yeah, just so if you invest more in women, like send them to the farm, let them manage the farms, I assure you, this thing of food security and all that is going to end within 1 year.
So you're practically blaming us for the issue of...
No, I'm not blaming anyone, but I'm saying, okay, you've been there.
Yes.
You've always been there, but you haven't changed the situation. So I mean, like, what if we change this and do it differently? So what if we change the perception of you doing the farming and all that to women? Now let women manage the farm. Let them go to the farm. Let them do this. I think we're going to have a big difference.
Well, let us reserve our comment, but the point is the title leads are still going to remain under our names. And
I'm not talking about taking a title deeds. I'm just saying let women manage the farm. Like, let them bring the ideas. Women are so overprotective.
Yes.
And they're so cautious. So for instance, men be like, they're somehow reckless in a way. So if a woman, like today, give a man something and give the same to the woman and see who is going to take care of very well. The part where a man is needed, maybe it's the technical part.
Oh, okay.
Maybe where a lot of energy needs to be applied. But we have a saying that says, anything that a man does, a woman can do it better. So we are unlimited.
We choose to reserve our comments.
We are unlimited, baby.
And you're touching an important point, because today we are asking, and what we are asking today is the issue of women empowerment in agribusiness.
Yeah, definitely. Women empowerment. Like, that is the best topic I like discussing, and I feel like it really involves me.
Okay.
I feel being part of it, and this one, I'm sure if you're not ready to sweat, then it will be ready, because the argument that is expected in this conversation, you're gonna love it.
Well,
let's come in with facts.
The point is this. The point is this. Men have had a greater stride, and they have really taken the whole issue of agriculture to the next level. I think it's important for us to give them a thumbs up and give us a thumbs up. But let us not ignore them. But today we are asking women empowerment in
agribusiness. Yeah.
Maybe we begin by asking, what is agribusiness? Because most of the times we have conflicting issues and views on the same.
Farmers, we already talked about this, or anyone planning to be a farmer. Okay, I think, first of all, the agribusiness is derived from two terms, agriculture and business.
Okay.
From my own understanding. And the relationship between agriculture and business is simply practicing agriculture for the sake of business, for the sake of you getting an income. And you always say, let's stop practicing agriculture. Let's do agribusiness. Like, this is making your farm like your own company. You're the CEO. Like, anything you cultivate there, you expect profit. You expect income.
So as a farmer, as I'm thinking of what I'll engage in as far as planting and harvesting is concerned, my main goal, or my last picture that I need to picture in my mind, is business.
Basically.
Profit is market.
Profit, money. Like, we all need the ballers, balling around, Let me tell you, agriculture is a very, let's say those who practice farming, in whatever, whether in poultry, any type of farming you're in, let me tell you, you're rich.
We are not confining it to pig farmers.
No.
Because most of the times we think those who have dairy farming are the ones who think of market, who think of agri-business. But if I'm planting maize, then I'm planting whatever I'll feed with my family for a year. And if I have any excess, that is what I'm going to.
Now this is what you do.
Okay.
If you have like the land plan, just have a plan. Now put more effort in terms of production so that you get double yields for you to have for the sake of, subsistence and for the sake of selling. Because at the end of the day, you can't just be eating the same food. For instance, you're planting maize like after you harvest it. You can't just eat maize from January to December. No. From January to December, you'll have kwashoko.
But leo nakula kuku, kesho you change to something
Okay,
else.
Fine. Now the kuku part and the mboga part is where you're coming in, where you need money to purchase.
So
you're not rearing them.
I need to exchange whatever I've planted, whatever I've harvested, to get something else.
Yeah, because this farmer, the one maybe you want to eat maybe chicken, I do poultry.
Okay.
I have to sell to you. You get?
Yes.
So that I get that money. And for instance, you growing maize. I need maize because maybe to feed my, chicken, to feed them, because maize is always fed. Okay, the grains I usually fed to the chicken. So maybe I'll have to buy from you. You need that money to also go and buy something else.
So we simply need a way where we can exchange.
We can exchange. Yeah. And sometimes, you've been working hard in the farm, you're now done harvesting, and it's the time whereby you are leaving your land to relax so that it can regain back the nutrients and all that for the next season. Yes. You need relaxation. Yeah, that's when you take an agri tour, like go somewhere.
I'm telling
go have fun.
The whole issue of traveling. We need to travel. We need to travel.
Definitely we will. We will soon. Soon we'll not be singers in studio.
So we'll be somewhere.
Yeah, we will be hosting our show right from the ground. We are South Africa grounds, Botswana grounds. These people, it's funny how our followers be like from different countries, and they'll be like, now someone from Botswana be like asking question. I'm like, okay, how am I going to answer a Botswana question? Yet I've never been there. Okay. So I want to be there so that even if you ask me a question, I know I was there. At least I can answer according to that, because I don't know how.
From an expert's point of view.
Yeah, of course. That's what we want. And you're doing this for the better.
Yes.
Yes. We are not even charging you anything. All you need is your concentration and just make sure you learn. You learn. So, back to our topic of today.
That is where we exist. That is where we exist as a farmers media. Now, women and empowerment. From statistics shows that almost half of agricultural laborers. Now, these are people who don't own land. They only provide labor. More than half of these people are women. Okay? More than half. And it is in the role of governments of the nation to get to a point where we have sustainable development. It simply means we don't have seasons of plenty and then we have seasons of lack. So it simply means we have a lot of maize in the market, but there is a season where it's all lack. We need to import, we need to do all these things. So when we're speaking about women and empowerment, what are some of the things that women do that actually shows that the level at which women are empowered with agriculture in terms of agribusiness, or how should we come in and empower women in order to achieve this, and what do women do? So basically, we are looking at what they do to be empowered, the stereotypes that they go through, the challenges that face especially women. I know you are saying that uh, women tend to be more, I think, fruitful.
Yeah, we are.
More fruitful?
Yeah, we are. Definitely, we are.
They tend
Who
to
is
be more
denying?
fruitful. No one has denied, but
Yeah.
women tend to be more fruitful, and we're looking at ways that women have been empowered since they began doing. And someone gave a good example, and he said, when we were growing up, or when our grandfathers, were bringing up our fathers and the rest, they never went to the farms. Our grandmothers, our mothers went to the farm. So the only thing the man will come and say is, "Hii ng'ombe iko sawa sana, it's fat enough, let's sell it." But who has been tending to that animal?
The women.
Of course. So how?
Of course. Now you're driving my point home, because I said, if today our country decide that all management of the farm and everything should be taken by women, women should be in charge, we could be thriving. You know, let's just sample this. It's so easy. Women, like when you go home, have you ever seen your dad or your uncle in that kitchen garden?
Well, it depends.
No, have you ever seen him? He in that farm.
It depends in his manner.
Okay, let's not even go there. Who cooks? Nani huwa anajuanga like leo sapa tunakula nini?
Well, we basically know who gives the money.
No, you're trying to make me. You're just let's be honest.
I'm very honest. You
Not about the money. No, it's not about the money. Like, it's not about the money.
Money is ruled out.
No, money is ruled out. Who decides, like, today we are eating ugali and blah blah blah, you're eating rice and chicken?
The woman of the house.
The mother.
Yes.
We have a kitchen garden. Who makes sure that kitchen garden never lacks vegetables?
She plants. The man
Yes.
provides the fertilizer.
Kitchen garden doesn't require fertilizer.
When it requires.
It doesn't.
When it requires.
It only requires manure, which if you're rearing livestock, it's free of charge.
So the point is.
My point is.
The point is. Please drive the point home straight and don't beat around the corner.
No, I'm trying to drive something into you so that you feel what I'm trying to mean is this.
Okay.
As a mother or a woman, they are responsible for how you're going to eat, make sure you're full and you're energetic.
Okay.
So that's why you find it every day. It's a woman being like, now, my family today, what are they going to eat? What am I going to prepare? You know, that's why you find the kitchen garden never runs dry.
True. That's
It will always have green vegetables. We'll have onions. Some even plant some tomatoes.
Yes.
Like, I'll talk from my point of view, from where I come from. My grandmother has the kitchen garden. It has all sorts of vegetables, both the traditional and this one, in the kitchen garden.
Okay.
There's spinach, there's kumawiki, there's black nightshade. You know that?
No, nobody today. Probably if you say it in
Black nightshade. You don't know. Today I beat you. Now, for those in Kenya, you understand this. Black nightshade is managu. Got you. I told you you're not ready for this. Today. It's called black nightshade.
You know, I felt like
then there's amaranthus.
I feel like that was you see the acids we used to mix for chemistry and something. You know.
Oh God.
I was like, you guys are eating chemicals.
Somebody come and pick this one. Check this one out.
How do you do that? Okay.
I am done.
This is the language I'm able to understand, okay?
That's why I interpreted.
Okay.
Okay, from how we understand it. But the English. You know, in Kenya, we used to just call anything, just anything. And you just make it a norm to all tribes.
So today, if you go to the market and you are asking this lady who is selling, and you are asking, do you have black? She's like, I don't have.
Okay, do this. I've ever been to these modern groceries.
Okay.
Just visit one or the supermarket. Just go to the grocery part, the packed one and everything. Just read the names.
So
you will never find that local name. Okay, you just find it maybe in brackets for people to identify it. But normally it's written in English. We have foreigners and they like to test, so they be like, oh, what's this?
So where did you know that's the name of Banago?
I've studied agriculture.
Okay, I thought you were window shopping.
Nah, I have roots. That's why I'm telling you. We have, I was just trying to tell you the varieties of, the vegetables she has. There's cabbage, it's like, the piece of in the kitchen garden, it's portioned. This side is for kales, that is kumawiki. This one for spinach, this one for cabbages, this one for, every type of it. There's carrots, there's, we call it dania.
Yes.
Yeah, dania. There's a name I want. Coriander. There's capsicum. You know what capsicum is?
Came out again in front.
You know what capsicum is?
That one I know.
You don't know. It's all.
No, I did a whole class of this English.
Yes, definitely
I feel like I'm now more of a patriotic Kenyan. I know Kenyan name. I'm a patriotic African. And I need to sing that song where the national anthem. I need to start singing this song.
Which one?
The song, the patriotic song.
No, okay, let me leave about the naming now. Now, you see, by doing that, you're always sure what you're going to cook. Mm-hmm. Today we are eating cabbage. You already know the cabbage is in the farm.
Mm-hmm.
There's tomatoes, there's carrots, and everything you need.
Okay.
Even the onions.
Mm-hmm.
So you just go pick them fresh, come wash, prepare, and you're done. But if it was a man managing, it could be like, oh, you go by this farm, maybe he's even planted grass or even animal. There's a time my grandfather did this. He came and uprooted the farm, but by then it was the kitchen garden was left there, at least to regain, the fertility and mshatoka. Akapanda napier grass.
Where were you when he was planting napier grass?
We had gone. We came back, we have napier. So, the first question my grandmother asked. Now today we are going to eat ugali and napier grass. Because now you can imagine spending 200 or 300 Kenyan shillings daily going to purchase vegetables.
And it's something you would have planted.
You have the farm. The only thing you need to do is access the seeds, go plant. And once you've planted, you're done.
And you're so sure that actually most of these vegetable gardens, you don't plant for one season. It's something that goes...
Like something like skumawiki, you can even take a whole year.
Yes.
Just harvesting, because you only need what you can consume at that point. And you're not consuming the same thing daily. So it gives it time to, continue to... Do what? What does that call? Give it time to reproduce again.
Welcome to Kenya.
Whatever.
Most of the times we say, women are chained in the whole household duties. In terms of they need to cook. You see a stereotype, they need to cook. They need to do things around the house. But the whole issue of you going to the market and engaging in the market, the whole issue of agri-business. And most of the times, women actually are in agriculture.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole issue of women in the farming and agriculture itself ends when they harvest. The whole issue of now advancing to the business, to the market, is left to men.
Now, let me ask you this. When you get to Marikiti, who do you find there selling This.
The vegetables and they are women. Most are women. Okay.
Yeah.
So
like I feel like I feel this. Women have they are the ones who are called mama mboga. Nowadays you find even men chopping those vegetables, selling you groceries. Initially it was just women. And I feel proud that men are also coming in and be like, now let's break this barrier of this work is situated or for specific men, for men or women. And there's that, their evolvement, and you're seeing men taking part. Let's say in the market nowadays, you find even women. There's like the place I purchase my groceries. It's a man who is always there. He sells like all types of groceries,
and they do it better.
He's okay. Like he's just okay. Like, package for you. Do this. Like it's quite okay.
So basically, women are already practicing the whole concept of agribusiness.
Yeah.
So probably as a society, we are the ones who are like
and I feel like sometimes there's the perception of women are homemakers, caretakers, childbearers. I hate that.
Yes.
I hate that.
I know we had the discussion before we came here of millennials and
Gen Z.
Mm-hmm. And it seems like Gen Z are coming up well. They're adopting a lot of change.
No, they're overtaking.
Yes.
And millennials are very angry about it. Yeah.
Please don't take
for a fact. Now, I'll take this one personally.
Okay.
Like, personal, this is so personal. You find out that a millennial wants you to do something. And it's against your will, but they want you to do it. But you feel like, no, this is not what I'm supposed to do. Let me do this on my way. But they feel like you're rude. No, we're not rude. We're just trying to do things on our own way.
Mm-hmm.
We are not the ancestors, From the ancestors, the millennials.
So you are a Gen Z.
I'm a Gen Z.
That's very nice. So
I
are adopting the whole issue of so basically we also see women in the whole agribusiness center.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of the whole issue of adopting new technology.
Farming,
mm-hmm. In terms of forming their own companies,
mm-hmm.
agribusiness companies.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of even adopting or enrolling in agricultural courses.
Yeah, I've seen a lot.
Yes.
Like a lot of women are doing it right now. Mm-hmm. For instance, I have a friend. She's a lady. Actually, she's a Gen Z. And Gen Z are really doing good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm very, very proud of them. Now, this lady started empowerment. Yeah, women empowerment.
So, what I've gotten is that actually it never dawned on me that women have been practicing
agribusiness. You usually thought it's just agriculture.
Yes, because maybe we never adopted the whole of mama mboga, and I don't know where they got the whole issue of soko. Whether they used to call it sokomjinga or something.
No, sokomjinga is Haman.
I don't know where they got it.
It's a place.
It's a place called that.
Yeah, on your way to Kijabe. Between Kijabe and there's a place called Sokomjinga. And Sokomjinga is just generally for agricultural products. You'll find cabbages, you'll find potatoes, carrots in large quantities.
Is it the market just probably I think after Limuru?
Kijabe in between, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the name of
that place, the market is called Sokomjinga.
I really want to know why it was called that. But women have been in the whole market center. Mm-hmm. So adopting the whole issue of agribusiness. Okay,
and when we are talking about agribusiness, we don't really mean like, okay, you as a farmer going to the farm, those who are laborers doing this. No, we have women who are managers, who are managing the farms for the sake of, for instance, they are managing farms that are for maize plantation, tea plantation, coffee. Some are in poultry, others fishing. Those are the type of people we are talking about.
So simply meaning, it's not that I went to the farm.
No, yeah. I planted, harvested,
gone to the market.
Yeah.
I'm selling.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, that's not it.
It's the whole concept of knowing that when I get to my farm, I'm thinking of the market.
Money.
Okay.
The
So
money.
that's the whole concept of
Chasing the bag, agribusiness. So basically, we have these role models. Like there's a person who I least expected to be a farmer.
to be a farmer.
Actually,
You never
like
expected
she's a farmer. Like if I tell you, if I mention her name, you'll be like, really? She's even a farmer? She doesn't look like. No, when I mention about a farmer, it doesn't mean that you have to go to the farm from morning to evening.
Yes, you said you can manage.
You can manage. You can. I own a farm. I am a farmer. I own a farm, and someone else is making sure that it's. I have employed people to take care of the farm because that's my farm. You know,
Yes.
like this musician, the artist Akode. Akode is a great farmer.
She's a farmer.
She is a farmer. I knew she'll get you by shock.
No, I'm serious.
Yeah, she is.
What kind of farming?
Yeah, she has several farms, so it depends with where.
Oh, I'll have to check on that.
Lillian Muli.
Yes, I think I've heard about it. Yes.
Yeah, these are the role models like out there who'll be like, yeah, like I've seen someone quit a job
Yes.
at a bank. You know, she was a finance manager, blah blah blah. She quit and she started farming. And let me tell you, she had like I think we should invite some of them in studio or just have a virtual interview with them so that you get to hear the experiences. This lady worked in a bank for 7 years. 7 years, but she quit. After quitting, she bought a land and started farming. After 3 years, she had achieved everything she wanted that she didn't achieve in 7 years.
Okay.
So I feel like also ladies, wherever you are, stop having the perception of, farming is that, in coming into contact.
The only issue of sweat.
Yeah, sweat, the nails. As a farmer, this is how your nails are supposed to be, to look like this way. This.
You're a farmer.
This. I'm a farmer. This. Because I go to the farm. Yeah, so what do you expect me? No makeup. Okay, you have to apply makeup maybe when you're going out, doing all that, but when it comes to farming, get into the farm. Do what you're supposed to do. And farming pays well.
Yes,
it really pays well because if you look at her lifestyle, it's really changed, and you'll be like, okay, so what are you doing in the bank? And she feel like I wasted my time in the bank. 7 years, I could be very far away, and you'll be like, okay, I feel like I have that calling in farming. So if you have a farm somewhere, please connect me.
We will call farming.
I'll manage for you very well.
Listen to this. This is an economic survey that was done in 2017-2018. And it says that with growing rural to urban migration by men, there is feminization of the agricultural sector. And this has led to the increasing number of women in multiple roles as cultivators, entrepreneurs, and deliverers.
Yeah.
Now, this poses a question. Okay, so it simply means that there are women who are dominating the whole chain of planting, harvesting, marketing, and the rest. Now, this poses a question of women in agribusiness. As you said, is it a calling or is it something you just found yourself in, so that there were no longer men in the rural areas that women had to fill the shoes? Is it a calling or is it something that women just find themselves in?
As I said, women are dedicated. For instance, if you'll find it like for laborers. Let me speak on laborers because those are the people I've interacted with most. You find that they have kids to take care of, and they're not in a position to, because they don't have like an alternative job and enough resources. So they tend to be laborers. And while farming, this is a day to day, day in. This season you're in the farm, next season you're this, next season you're, it depends. So I feel like they're there because they need to provide for their families, at the same time their well-being. And they are hardworking.
So
Women are hardworking, and they they have that humility. Like they are persistent, and they are, how will I put it? Wanajua kuvumilia.
Okay, so if they don't have this season, they will come next season.
Yeah,
That's what I'm asking. Is it an intentional decision that most women have made, or have they just found themselves that no one to till the land, no one to do this, no one to do this? Is it an intentional thing that has been done?
Okay, I feel like it goes two ways.
Okay.
Can be either passion and can be intentional. And of course the economy, how it's taking us. It can be something that has to push you. For instance, personally, I'm passionate. If I were given land today and being told, now this is a piece of land, do whatever you want to do, let me tell you, I'll not fail you. I'll not let you down. Because that's something that is in me.
So you're passionate about the whole thing.
I am, about the farming thing.
You're not waiting for someone to exist.
Let me tell you what happened. While I was in high school, I did agriculture.
Okay.
And agriculture we have projects.
Yes.
That is the farming project. You're always given
a
piece of land. Actually, it was 2 meters by 1.
What did you plant in your?
We were planting cabbages.
Hey.
And you were given 24 seedlings. I remember that very well.
So this is where you got your passion.
No, where I come from, I used to, my grandma, I was a kid, I could just go to the kitchen garden, do my things there. While she's doing her own things, I fence my own, plant something and be like, now this is mine, I'm planting this. If she's planting sukuma wiki, there I go, take some seedlings, come and plant on my own. Make sure I water it. So it's something I've been doing it. While planting trees, my grandfather, while he was planting trees, I could plant with him. So I even have trees of my own up to now. They're very big, doing good.
So you've been practicing
since
from
before. Yeah, from before. Now that's what I'm telling you. For my history, where I'm passionate about farming and farming is in me. It's during that project. I emerged the first one.
Wow.
All my seedlings did well. None of them.
So when
none of them died or got emaciated or dried up. None.
So they say you have
all the 24 did well. After when we did harvesting, the projects.
Yes.
You were selling them to the school.
So who takes the money?
It's given to you.
Oh,
okay.
Given.
For us, we were given. I don't know how others. The best. The best performed were given money.
Oh.
So for me, the 24 cabbages, we were weighing them.
Okay.
You were weighing them.
Okay.
After harvesting, they've done well. I was the happiest person. Imagine the first one, imagine the first one with the highest kgs. And the one who is following you is 15 kgs below you.
So unfortunately, in my year, those who were doing agriculture, I think they planted napier grass. And you see, there was that thing as was that planting something that you not eat.
I know.
The previous year, they planted carrots. It was fun.
I just wished, my wish was this. I wished we could we could plant something like strawberries. But no, I'm glad we did cabbages, because if it was strawberries, they could have done well and we couldn't harvest it because of the intruders. You know what I'm talking about?
No harvest. So we can simply say that women have been in the whole cycle of agri-business.
Yeah.
Not just because there was an exit of men from the scene, but some of them have been doing it even from a young age.
Yeah.
And some of them, actually, the whole issue of agribusiness has opened doors.
Yeah.
They are CEOs, they are earning, they're able to feed their families.
Yeah.
It has worked for them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, So maybe we can ask, what are some of the stereotypes that have hindered women, and the challenges that women have had? I think in the whole issue of transformation and transformative agenda that the governments are bringing to enhance sustainable development, especially in agriculture, women, do we say that women need to become more empowered, or are they empowered at least, or do we need to recognize them in what they are doing? Going back to the same issue of where we thought that like women have not been in agribusiness, but actually women have been.
Okay, this is what I feel from my opinion. Women should be recognized, and any support they need towards this agribusiness journey that is viable, that's something that can be done, any contribution that can be made, it could be it could be a good one. Once you recognize a woman, it's the same thing like when you're going to, approaching a lady, trying to talk to her, convincing her, to make her fall for your words. Definitely have to praise her.
Okay.
You have to praise her, pamper her, give her gifts, blah, blah, blah. Once you do that, I'm sure once she falls in love, that's the end. She will take good care of you. She'll just go an extra mile to make sure you're okay, to make sure you're happy. That's how women are. So those words you're giving to her, they give her the energy. The same way when it comes to agribusiness. If you pamper a woman and be like, you're the best, you're doing this and you're doing great, assure her, give her that assurance, like, I wish next time you could do better. This woman will go an extra mile and be like, next time I'm going to do better.
Okay.
Because you've given her an assurance that she's doing okay, she's great, and give her the support that is needed. Definitely we're going to go far. And we need to kill this perception of women are childbearers, caretakers, homemakers, the stereotype. Do away with them. Okay. Let's get rid of it. These are just the traditional, the old ways. We are in the new generation. I think we should adapt and be like, we are all equal. Despite the gender, we are all equal. Let's do this. Let's work as one.
For my opinion, I think we are all special in our own way, different, made for special purposes. But I think we can come to a conclusion and say women have been in agribusiness for long. What we need to do is to use the available resources, whether by the government, whether by non-governmental organizations, to support that woman who is engaging in agribusiness to that lowest level of the society we think of, where we just go, unatandika, you place your cabbages and whatever, to that woman who is exporting. Okay?
Definitely.
So from all that, because I think we have been lost in the whole issue of agribusiness, you must be exporting. You must be dealing with something, you must be dealing with something bulk. Okay?
No.
So we begin by empowering that woman
and that smallholder,
that lady in the market, that lady who owns a shop, who has a milk dairy, that woman who is doing something, in the market, whether big or small. So I think we'll have achieved the whole concept of empowering women with agribusiness.
And it all sends it back to the government.
Okay.
Because the foundation of everything in farming, it has a foundation. And I feel like by lowering the prices of, farm inputs, it's really going to favor a lot of people. Because, I maybe have the urge of getting into the market and doing, farming and all that. But the farm inputs, the prices are really discouraging. And you feel like now instead of going to the farm, let me just open a shop, just be here, sell something, just do something different.
Okay.
But if the farm inputs, the prices are lowered, I feel like the cost of production will reduce,
Exactly.
and the output will be so high.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think that's important. I think we can adopt it and encourage every government agency that is there to come in and support. I think the most important thing you say that women are kind of dedicated.
They are. Not kinda. They are. I believe in you. All women who are farmers, I really believe in you.
Because I see it. I've never experienced it, but kinda they are dedicated in what they do. And as we said, they tend to be fruitful in many ways.
Don't say tend. They are.
Okay, they are.
Yes, I'm trying to correct you.
You are fruitful.
Yes.
In many ways.
Yes.
So if you given support. Now, before we go on a break, what are some of the things that women would do, they themselves, to place them at an advantaged position, okay, to either be empowered or empower themselves by agencies, by what they are doing, and even by agribusiness itself?
Okay.
Where do they place themselves in terms of being advantaged?
First of all, I feel like for women, okay, that these women were dedicated and maybe they don't have that enough piece of land or enough space to conduct what they're doing.
Okay.
I feel like they should come up with groups. When you're in a group, you've decided like 7 of you, you come up, form a group. If you go to ask for assistance or give out your proposal of what you're trying to do or venture into, it's much easier for people to trust you as a group than you individually.
You'll get lost in the thin air.
Individually, like ati umesemaje? Atueni mkulima. Nani anajua?
No,
who knows?
We'll fund you when you're in Kajiado, but the next year you are in a different county. How do you even get you? So, number one, they can place themselves in groups.
Yeah, groups. There's this word they usually use. I don't know. The word has just gone missing, but I'm sure after the break it's going to come back. Like I will have remembered. Because the lobby, that's the name. Lobby groups.
Okay.
It's easier to source money in lobby groups from the government, the NGOs, of which it's going to help you, out there. I have a group of women I know, they're practicing aquaculture.
Okay. Welcome to Kenya.
Aquaculture, this is the keeping of fish, and I think we should visit them. They have like 20 fish ponds.
Wow. They are no county.
National county.
Okay.
Yeah, but they have 20 fish ponds.
Oh,
and they're really doing great. They all started there were 4, but now they are recruited ladies from, those who are from high school who have interest in doing fishing and all that. They're there and they're now creating opportunities for young women. And once you build a woman, you're building a generation.
And the society.
And the society at large. Now he's in agreement with me. Why don't you take a break?
So, number one, women should be in lobby groups. Okay?
Yeah.
So, lobby groups are very important.
Yeah, very.
I think after the break, we'll be looking at some of the stereotypes, some of the challenges that women face in the whole issue of agribusiness.
And the opportunities created.
Yes, and the opportunities that are created. You can share your comments on any of our social media handles at Farmers Media, Facebook and Twitter, and get us live on YouTube. And you can share, share the whole information. Someone else will be back after the break with more of this.
Don't touch that dial.
Kabisa.
Tumeongea.
heart of any shamba lies in its soil. Because soil is so precious, it needs to be managed really carefully. A good place to start is with a soil test. This will tell you how healthy your soil is, its pH levels, what type of soil it is, which crops you can grow in your soil, and advice on which fertilizer is best to use. If you follow the soil test recommendations, it can boost your yields. So, how do you take a soil test sample? Firstly, dig up soil samples. Use a soil auger or panga to take a sample 1 feet deep in a zigzag pattern across your shamba. You will need at least 10 samples. Mix all the different samples together in a bucket. The soil is now ready to be scanned and tested. You can find out about how to get your soil tested by contacting your extension officer. Alternatively, contact a Ministry of Agriculture research station near you. A soil test costs about as much as 1 bag of maize. You should do a soil test at least every 3 to 5 years.
Welcome back. This is Farm Drive, and we are driving it in, and we are saying we want to run our farming as an enterprise. And before we went for the break, it was hot in here, and we are asking, what is it that every woman around Africa would do to place themselves at an advantaged position? So number one, we have said it's the whole issue of merry-go-rounds.
No, creating lobby groups.
Yes.
And the other one is the merry-go-round, the one you just mentioned.
Okay.
Yeah, women have a lot of chamas.
A lot. And I don't know why, please. I don't know why. That every time it's rare actually to find women having merry-go-rounds that are centered on agriculture and the whole issue of agribusiness. Most of the times it's different issues from that. So number one, that one can also act as one issue that can place them at advantaged position. Okay.
I have one.
Okay.
My grandmother is a. I'll keep on talking about what the experience I have. And you'll get best.
Oh, that's a new one.
They have a group. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to mention the name.
Okay.
Now this group, they came up with they raised money, the merry-go-round, like the chama. Mm-hmm. I know you understand.
Yes.
You contribute, then you invest.
Yes.
So they contributed and they leased land, leasing.
Okay.
Now they leased close to 5 acres,
mm-hmm.
and then they planted maize. You get?
So they get money, they pull money together.
Yeah.
They lease land.
Mm-hmm.
They plant.
They planted maize.
Okay.
And the production, they incurred the cost of production together up to harvesting. They all took part into that up to harvesting. Once they were done harvesting, this maize. Okay, at first, when you're starting something, you're not even sure how it's going to run. So at first, what they did after harvesting, they divided the number of sacks they got. After kila mtu ende na yake.
Okay.
And it was a good one because they really got a good, So it's you to decide. Are you going to sell? Are you going to keep for your reserve for future use? Mm-hmm. Depends. Okay. So that's what they did for the first time. Now, others were like, you gave me this, I already have my farm, it's, and trying to find market and all that. So the next season they planted, they sold it. They sold the whole maize together. And they started investing in something else.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's how they started. Right now, let me tell you, they're doing great. They are doing great. They have a section where they planted tomatoes, and tomatoes paid. And they did the perfect timing whereby they planted tomatoes and harvested when tomatoes are less in the market.
When there is no flooding of
Yeah.
tomatoes in there.
Yeah, there's no.
It's
And
called tomatoes.
tomatoes. Okay, fine. I heard that when you're speaking English, you're not supposed to pronounce T. So I don't know how you're going to pronounce them. Omeos. Yes.
Welcome back.
T is always silent in English. So they did that and
So
it was
what-
quite doing well.
Then call Timothy. Call Timothy.
Emo in. Who did you bring to meet studio today? Producer, get this one out.
Call the agent.
Hey, I asked. Oh my god. You need to get out.
I have a friend called Titus. I think I'll call him.
What is it called? What is it called?
God.
What is it called?
Okay.
What is it called?
He's called Titus. So
Again?
I call him I-Us. I'm not sure I call him that.
No, even he hasn't realized what you said, but let's forget about
So the point is, women can place themselves in an advantaged position
Yeah.
to even empower themselves and even be empowered
Yeah.
to get to a level where they are able to, one, invest in other things and also invest in the whole issue of agriculture.
Yeah, and also if you have the groups, we have these funding institutions, whereby if you are in a group whereby you are in a position and you're eligible to take a loan, you can easily take a loan, invest. Because I've seen people do that, like women who just invested and they were doing poultry. They were in the poultry field, and sometimes how it is, like you've invested, you've done this, at least this chicken are bringing in eggs, others you're selling them, and they needed more. Now they had to call in the financial institutions. Others, because of trust issues, you have to have something for security for you to be given a loan. So if you're in a group and you have that protocol, then it's easier to draft a proposal for them. Always. One head is better than two. Two are better than one.
Yes. True.
So
We come together, we pull the resources together.
yeah, and we grow together. For instance, so what I mean here is it's easier for you to get a loan while in a group, and you're trying, and maybe you're not even well that established, but as long as you're in a group that is recognized and someone is trusted in that group, it's going to be easier.
So financial institutions have faith and believe in groups more than individuals.
Okay, in groups, for instance, if you go and pick a loan of 1.5 or 2M as a group, you've shown a record like, these people are potential, they can pay. But you individual, let me tell you, now just go to a bank and be like, I need a loan of 2 million. Do you think they'll give you? They'll ask you, what do you have? Do you have a security? Something to secure.
No book.
You don't have, how they're going to trust you. So you have to go an extra mile.
Okay.
And also, you can be given if you have a guarantor. And this guarantor should trust you and be like, yeah, I trust him. I know by this time, you'll achieve this amount and
in
pay.
case he's unable to pay, I am willing as a guarantor.
You are willing.
Yes.
Lip service.
So, what are some
Yeah.
of the stereotypes that have actually that women have faced in their journey to achieving the whole issue of becoming women in agribusiness? Some of the stereotypes that actually have become a block to women. That most of the times it takes away their confidence of engaging in agribusiness. Some of the stereotypes.
Okay, I feel women are considered, like I said earlier, they are considered as homemakers. to stay at home, bear children, take care of them. And, going out, trying to go an extra mile to do something, they feel like that's a no. They are limited. Rules and the misconception and all that. The other thing they don't...
A good example of one is, you have a good example where we have drawn it from our tradition. And you're like, yeah, you're a woman, so do this. So it will definitely hinder you from practicing the whole issue of agribusiness.
But I think it was there initially. And, you have some communities who are still practicing that. They'll be like, no. In Maasai, no offense though, but in Maasai, they still believe that women are supposed to be at home.
Okay.
Now, that's when you see men going out, taking care of the calves, go feed them. Okay, it's fine at some point, but you need to give them opportunities too. Okay, you see them, they're the ones who are being brought the cow to milk. And once the milk is sold, the men are the ones who receive the money. So why not the one who milked?
So that brings, and I guess is also good to mention that that whole concept and that whole tradition cuts across, I think, all the ethnic groups of Africa.
Yeah.
It's only that it varies.
It varies from where you are.
So we are having a group of, a group of some ethnic people or a group of people who believe that women are to tend in the farm. But when it comes to the whole issue of market, it is a man. So we are having, so you milk, but I'm the one going to sell. I'm the one who is going to know the market value of this milk. I'm the one who is going to receive the milk. You go pluck the tea, organize the plucking of the tea. So when you go take it to the market, so when I'm receiving the bonus, it comes by my name. I'm the one who is receiving the pay. Okay.
And so forgetting to give me even half of it.
Okay, maybe they assume they are still providing, but that's just a subject of discussion. So that one has hindered women even to have an extra coin, to add an extra, a kind of a crop or plant in the farm, or even add their muscle in the whole issue of agribusiness.
You know what's going on in my mind?
No,
do you have any idea? Now, I'm just imagining.
I know the pain.
No.
So there is a limit that we have put. There is a limit that has been put. You go to the farm. After the farm, there is a produce, I take it to the market. Who receive the pay?
But I feel like it's high time we wake up from that.
I think it's something slowly people are learning from others. People are learning new ideas. They are learning, what hinders them. I think it's something we can look forward to.
Actually, in the SDGs, the gender equality is among the campaigns that we want to reach by Vision 2030, of which we are let's say we are remaining in 6 years.
Yes.
Because this was the 7th, we're in 2023 and we're in August. How many months? 4 months to end the year. So let's say in 6 years' time, this thing will be over. And I'm seeing it adapt. We are actually adapting it. And Gen Z are literally adapting to it, and you can see when others are changing from men to women, which is not bad.
In the coming years, we can expect a huge number of women engaging in agribusiness. And not only agribusiness, but I think all the sectors.
Yeah, in most sectors.
Okay.
Yeah, you remember this, initially, in the old days, women couldn't even study.
Yes.
You won't find a woman as a boss somewhere.
It was real. In fact, in the history of this country, in every sector, you will find there is a history of the first woman, the first woman who was a pilot, the first woman member of parliament, the first woman what? Sir John, the first woman what? I don't know if there is a first woman journalist, I don't know. But there is always that history of the first woman in this, the first woman in this. Yet,
yeah, we have the first woman in journalism. We have.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We have who? Who is she?
I'm not. I don't remember the name.
Just
Tomorrow I'll come with the name. Don't be on my neck.
Simply meaning, women have been stereotyped by the whole tradition thing.
Like almost everywhere.
Yes.
Thanks to westernization.
Okay.
Because they're we're really changing. Digital and all that. Nowadays you have so many women who are pilots. Like a lot doing. That's why when I started this conversation, I said, whatever a man can do, a woman can do it better.
We have no argument.
If you're given the chance to do it, if you're given the platform, you can do it better.
True. It's
And I feel like it's high time we give them chances. Yeah.
And
Even in a relationship, let that woman lead.
Especially in the whole issue of
No, why am I saying this?
Agri-Business.
Why am I saying this and you're ignoring? Even in that relationship, let that woman lead. Let the woman be the head and be the neck.
I stand to say that the relationship belongs to me, to you.
Be wise, huh? Be wise.
Yes, be wise.
Yes.
Let me ask. In terms of technology, has technology hindered women in practicing farming? In that probably they have not been able to access the right technology. They don't know that they don't have the skills over time. Has technology played a role in hindering women in any way?
Okay, I don't think it's hindering women, but it's impacting. Because the invention of technology, you find out that initially, if you're going to till the land, you have to use a djembe and till.
Yes.
Now we have tractors, we have planters, harrows. So you are sorted. Instead of you going tilling the land from morning to evening, there's that. It's just machinery doing its work. And the other thing, when technology came, right now, if I want to, I'm a woman, I want to venture into agri-business. And I've done my statistics. I'm not like, I'll just get to online, to the internet, accessing internet, go through lessons that deals with agriculture. Maybe I want to take part in planting or farming strawberries. I'll go with strawberries. They're very easy and they take less time. Now, with this gadget over here, it's so easier. This is tech.
Yes.
I get to know where am I going to get my market and how long is it going to take, the best variety I want to use, and the climatic conditions. Now, I don't have that issue of coming to, he's a farmer, I know him. Could you please tell me, I want to farm strawberries, how am I going to do and all that? You find out that he doesn't have time to explain. Or it just give me half of the information.
Yes.
Or to be like, no, you can't do that. He discourages you. But with this, you get everything you want.
All the information.
All the information you want. And when you're going to practice it, to put it to practice, you're sure. You even get connections and contact people who are like, oh, you've ever done this? How was it here? It did well. Where did you get your market? And they explain to you. So while you're doing your thing, you're doing your research, you are sure. By the end of this, I have my market. So I feel like it's a great contribution because, initially used to have men who are, let's say, not really arrogant, but there's a word to put it there. Like, me explaining to you, as a man, explaining to you, like, it's somehow a disrespect, you get that? Okay. Like, how am I even starting to tell you? You get?
Okay.
So I feel like the technology is really helping a lot and it's clearing away a lot of things.
And I think it's important to note that as far as agriculture is concerned and the use of mobile phones, gadgets,
Yeah.
in terms of our social media handles. I think women have come in handy in sharing information that is agriculture and agribusiness related.
I agree that go to YouTube, go to TikTok, go to Facebook, and search. Most content for agriculture is posted by women. I can bet that with my life.
And I was just going through my TikTok account and I realized we have a number of women.
A lot.
Who are doing in just small spaces of
Yeah.
land. And they're doing marvelous things.
Yeah, others are using sacks. I've seen this one I never visited. You know, on her pathway going to the house, instead of planting flowers, she has planted spinach this side and this side sukuma wiki. And they look good.
Wow.
Like they look like flowers. Like they're so cute. That like women are so creative.
So instead
Like
of
they're
having
very creative
flowers all
over.
my front garden or backyard.
She has sukuma wiki, spinach, coriander on the other side, and the other has the carrots, and they're doing good. You'll be like, that's so fascinating, and be like, okay. Now, those are the kind of creativity we need.
So instead of struggling with the whole issues of flowers zimepanda, zimekauka, zimepanda zingine, you just plant sukuma wiki.
Yeah.
So number one, you'll never have the problems and then getting tired. Sijui unalimia maua ni mboga.
And you know, at the end of the day, that's money.
That's nice.
And mind you, she's rearing chicken, and the chicken she just built a very nice cage for them, and they're like, it's neat. It's not like that place is so neat. Just that it's far.
That's beautiful.
I'll ask her to send me some of the videos.
Feature her in one of our.
I'll ask her to send some of the videos. That place really looks good.
Wow.
Good. Like, have you ever just gotten into someone's gate and it's like, oh, like just smiling because of the environment, the creativity.
It's nice.
And then
really want to see
a place she has constructed and raised above the ground a bit, and that place it has fruits. These fruits. I don't know what they call. I don't know the name. They're sweet.
Which ones?
I don't know the name.
Okay.
I can't even describe them. How they look like.
Send a picture so that
Maybe yeah, because they're so sweet. Those fruits and. Like the whole of our homestead is just creativity. And
I'm just
all
picturing it.
like you're just picturing it, entering someone's gate, this side and this side. It's instead of flowers, it's vegetables. Coriander this side carrots. You can imagine.
Yes.
You just be like, oh, this carrot, it really looks good. You just pluck it in. There's a tap somewhere, you wash and eat.
That's nice.
When you go home, she'll be like, now you can pluck some few leaves for, spinach as you go.
Wow.
Feels good. She has utilized her land
And
to the maximum. To the maximum. And it's really looking good.
So
I feel like she should be featured in the Guinness Book of
There's an
Record.
individual who will put the flowers and plant spinach now.
Yes, the better. Bro, consider money.
And I think it's important if there is any lady, right, especially a woman who is engaging in farming and she's in the digital space. I think we need to feature them.
Yeah.
We'll feature them one of these days so that we acknowledge them and what they are doing.
And there are a lot who are doing this. Others have started like I saw someone. This lady, I don't know. She started an interview and I saw how she's doing her things. Like she's staying in a rental place where she's just rented the house, just in Nairobi. And she just went out, to the forest, collected, the soil in sacks. And came, arranged them well. And each sack she has planted sukuma wiki, spinach, the most accessible, the most, vegetable, the black nightshade, the one I was telling you. Yeah, she has them. The way, she's planted, they look good. And imagine it's a rental. Now you see, she doesn't pay for the space.
Wow.
Now she's rented the place, like where you stay on the outside. Now you decided to put them to be like their flowers, but they are vegetables. Now you see, she's earning through selling it to the neighbors. She's earning, and it's really doing well.
Wow.
Now she was featured. I think the videos are on the net. If you check them, you'll find them.
That's beautiful.
And that place, if you just look at them, like it has brought, the green part brings,
Yes. I'm imagining
the airs, the spinach, then the circulation, the environment is so nice. So you can imagine how it looks like.
I'm picturing a home that I know I went, and probably there were good flowers on the walking path, and I'm imagining if it was
Spinach.
And the cabbages.
Now imagine a cauliflower. I don't know if it's called a cauliflower. The Chinese cabbage on the edge as you're walking.
It seems beautiful.
Beautiful. And it is fenced such that maybe nothing can come into contact to,
So
for destroying.
In conclusion, we can say that women have a lot of potential as far as agribusiness is concerned.
Yeah, they have a lot of potential, and I think they should be ventures. But as much as we're talking about their potential, I know the hindrance, the challenges, the problems they incur, and all that is not being addressed. That's why we are here to address them. Like, what are some of these challenges that these women are going through?
And call them out.
First of all, the lack of infrastructure. This one cuts across a lot of things.
Yes.
When we talk about infrastructure, we are talking about, like, let's say, you're rearing chicken, you are rearing, mention them, anything that requires infrastructure. Even the farm where you're farming, you need to fence it so that you inhibit the introduction of the
anything
from the outside.
Yes.
The inhibitors, the intruders. Yeah.
Yes.
Like in Kajiado, we have like the infestation of the big animals. The one in the big five, elephant.
The elephants.
Yeah. Lack of infrastructure. So if the place is not fenced, it's not well, if it's a place that has wild animals, it's not electrocuted, it's going to be a problem. Definitely they'll get a loss.
Yes.
So the lack of infrastructure, and that one is not only the fences, also the roads.
Yes.
The road networks. Maybe the accessibility, it really hinders them.
Yes.
Like, okay, women, as much as they're hardworking, now imagine a place whereby you've harvested tomatoes, it rains, the road is muddy.
Man, there is no heartbreak that a farmer who has planted, has done weeding, has done everything that is needed, harvested, and you cannot sell. That's a big heartbreak.
Pain. It's like, have you ever had a wound? And then that wound, someone comes in and puts salt, the fresh wound, salt on it, bring ash, pour on it, acid, add, then something hot.
That's the pain. It's painful. I'm imagining I'm in the market, I have my produce, but I cannot sell. Simply because I was not able to access the market on time. Probably there is flooding of the commodity. So the whole issue of infrastructure is a great block to women, and especially women engaging in agribusiness.
Yeah.
So simply meaning we have done everything that should be done on the farm. We have harvested, and we even added what would we call? We have improved something on our produce. Okay. But we cannot access the market.
Yeah.
That simply means we cannot do cross-border trading. We cannot access our local market. It becomes a hindrance to women.
Yeah.
I think for me, I cannot do that one.
For men, it's easier than women. The other thing is GBV, gender-based violence. This one is so common in women, especially the sexual harassment, there's assault and exploitation. Women go through a lot. There's a time these women, the laborers who used, I don't know,
yes, there was
they were in a tea plantation.
Yes, some place in Kericho.
Yeah. You remember, like, if you follow up the whole story, of which I don't want to talk about it, like the exploitation, assault, the sexual harassment, women go through a lot.
True.
And they're just trying not to depend on men, trying not to be independent. There's nothing as sweet as being independent.
True.
You depend on your own, and you're doing everything to be stable without depending on anyone. So, and all this violence and all that, especially in the agricultural sector, you might be in the farm, someone just come and be like, now, if you're not doing this, I'm not going to pay you, because you really need the money. You have no option. At some point, you have no others. Tend to leave the money. And for instance, we've been working from Monday to Friday, you're expecting your payment on that Friday, and someone and your kids, for instance, you have kids are depending on you. They'll be like, Mom will bring food. Mom promised to pay school fees on Monday, so Friday should be paid, and then someone just be like, harass you.
Then the issue of women and land. Is it a challenge that women face as far as accessing the land, buying land, and any other issue that is related to land?
Okay, when it comes to land ownership, actually, I feel like most women, okay, apart from nowadays at least, initially, women, you couldn't buy land as a woman.
Yes. And I think there are also areas today, goes to buy land,
and they're being asked, like, do you have a man who is coming to buy this land? Where is the man's name and all that? So I feel like that one, the ownership, others like, and then when it comes to inheritance, women are not given land to inherit. I don't know why. Why are women not given the land to inherit?
As we said before, that cuts across everywhere, but there are places nowadays it's accepted. Young women, ladies, daughters born in a family are given.
No, I'm just trying. Let's be realistic here.
We are trying. Welcome to Kenya. Welcome to Kenya.
Now you're giving me the Kikuyu accent, the one I never heard.
Welcome to Kenya.
I'm sorry. Anyway, there's this issue, like I was saying, up to now, we have people who are like, you find someone doesn't have enough piece of land, and they have kids, and maybe 2 males and 3 females. And you feel like, acha nitie bidii, ninunulie kijana yangu shamba kuteleza. Mbona yeye asinunue? So you're considering this kid, like the boy child, to inherit something, piece of land. Up to now, even in my home, you feel like recently, I saw someone from my family. She has a son. She was like, let me buy a piece of land. As he grows up, he'll just take it. And I'm like, the kid who is being bought land, how old is he? That boy is 12 years.
12.
And the land, it's being written like he's the one to be on his name.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? This is spoiling it. And mind you, the lady has 3 girls, others.
So it's the lady who is buying land.
Because this thing has dominated us. Like for inheritance, land inheritance is for men, not with females. I feel like it's gone are the days. We need to treat kids equally. If you're buying land or you are writing a will to inherit land, do it equally, both to females and males.
But again, this cuts across because there are societies that have emerged from all that, and the others that give equal share, the others that give a share that is not equal, and the others that don't. So we can adopt it as one of the challenges that actually women face as far as agribusiness is concerned.
Definitely, if you're not given a piece of land, it all starts from, if you're not inheriting. And when you're doing like if you're not inheriting it, others are doing it, like for the men. If you're doing like, for instance, let's say you are leasing, and someone be like, I can't lease a land for a woman. There's a case scenario that ever happened to my grandma. She went to lease land, and she was asked, do you have a man who is coming to stand in?
Okay.
And she was like, no, I'm the one taking care of it. And they were like, no, we are not leasing land for women. Now you can imagine. So, and you have money. It's not that you don't have the money.
I have everything it takes to till this land, to have a harvest. Everything it takes. I only need land.
Yeah.
And I've spotted this land is good for what I want.
And they are advertising it. They are leasing. And you went there, got there to lease. Do you want to pay? But they be like, no, you're a woman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, that's a challenge. I think
it's a big challenge. And imagine you're just trying to be innovative. You're just trying to create an opportunity. Once you lease
for yourself and for others.
For yourself and for others. And this is going to boost the economy, because once you sell the land, not selling, you plant, harvest, and sell the products. Definitely you're going to get to boost the economy of the country.
Women and finance. What is the greatest limitation that women have in terms of finance? This simply means accessibility to credit facilities. Do they have their own finance? Are they able to raise funds for their own? What can finance, or has finance become a block to women and in agribusiness?
Okay, I feel like initially, as I said, let's say, for instance, you're married. When it comes to finance, access to finance. Okay, I wanted to give a story. For instance, you're married, the title deed or the logbook is not in your name, it's in the husband's name. You want to take a loan and it's not possible. You get. But this is what I mean. When it comes to access to finance, you find that it's not easy for them to access finance. Like, for instance, due to some of their reasons. For instance, the lack of the collateral requirements. For instance, there are some of the requirements that are required. For instance, you have to secure.
Okay.
So if you don't have the security for the loan, you're not going to get a loan. So, that is a barrier, number one.
This lady or this woman is ready to engage in agribusiness. All she wants is finance.
Yeah.
But now the lending institutions are asking for a security.
Yeah.
So you don't have...
If you're not in a position to give it, you're not going to be given. The other one, you might get, but there's high cost of transaction.
Okay.
Now, you imagine now, you're transacting 100,000. That's what you need. But if it's transacted to you, you're only going to get 90,000. Where are you going to get the 10,000 to top up again? You see, it's a problem.
So if you want 100,000, you need to factor in the whole concept of...
getting 110. For you to get the 100,000. Now you see there is that high transaction cost. And the other one is the limited education and mobility. This is what I mean by limited education. Like, they have, initially you find out that most women were not given the access to education. And they're still, I don't want to call them illiterate, but they don't have they are not exposed in terms of the knowledge or the education in terms of the finances. You find that someone may come and be like, okay, now these people knows that you're not learned. They take advantage of you in a way, and you have to pay more from what you given. And this one is it's a barrier to access the finance. And the other one is maybe the irregularity of employment.
Before you get to that point, you can mention something about the mobility.
Yeah. The mobility.
Very important.
Mobility. This is whereby the movement and how accessible it is.
You are confined here. In this village. You don't dare move because you're a woman.
Yeah. So where are you going?
If you have passion for wheat farming and you are born in some place in Nakuru, Njoro, it's wet. The weather cannot support wheat farming. So you're thinking, let me go to Narok. Have
get
some land over there,
land,
whether lease or buy, then plant. But because you're confined to that place, it becomes a challenge. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was saying the other one and the access to finance. Naturally, the nature of women businesses, they are always limited to access credit. They are always limited. I don't know why. We used to think it was easier, but it's not. It's not that easy.
And at times I feel like it has been made easy when you are in groups. But when you want to run with your own vision, desire to plan, it becomes hard. Okay.
Because you might use the group here. Okay, group, it's good if you have the common vision with the group. Common purpose, and you're sure you have the people you trust.
Plant coriander, but
someone else is like, no, let's do cabbage. Others is like, our tradition only allows to grow carrots.
Yes.
Others be like, hey, timuaru. Chop potatoes.
Or you begin well, others
and you have a vision, you have something you want to accomplish at the end of the day. So basically, if you want to move alone, it becomes difficult.
Yes.
That if you can't access to finance. And the last one is, I think, irregularity of employment. This is whereby you find out that, okay, fine, you're employed, but as a nature of a woman, maybe you go on a maternity leave.
Yes.
You get. And once you come back, maybe your contract or where you're working, you're terminated. And your services are no longer required. And maybe you had a goal and be like, by this time, I wanted to achieve this amount so that I can venture into farming. Now you get limited. And now it takes you time again before you go and move, start a new job, before you adapt to the bills and start investing, you get that it will be too late again.
Yes.
Before you venture. So the irregularity, moving up and down, you're not flexible in a way to access the cash and all that. It's really a problem.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
That one I can adopt it.
As a man.
I can adopt
Man, now
it. It's a challenge. That one is a strong challenge, especially to women.
It is a very.
Yes.
It really affects a lot. And I've seen a lot. You see people be like, okay, I went on a maternity leave. I'm no longer working.
True, but then there are many women who have that story. Many women who have that story that when they went for the maternity leave, they never resumed work.
Yeah.
When they resumed, they were told, no, you go wait, we'll call you. Until today, they have not been called. Yes.
It happens.
Yes.
Now, another challenge as we move on is the gender division of labor in agriculture. Division of labor in terms of gender. This is a common one.
You can do this, you cannot do that.
Like someone be like, we need men to till the land. I'm energetic. I can till a certain piece of land. I can dig. I can weed. I can spray. Anything you want me to do, I will do. I can manage the farm.
Why is it that there is that notion of like, hey, we will come out of it? I
feel like
not be able to do this.
I feel like people should stop judging people by just looking at them and defining them by their gender. Instead, put them in that particular position. see what they can do.
So if today there is a farmer who wants his land to be tilled, can we take you as one of
I'm good.
the liberal to
I
go and-
know I can work. Take me. Come and take me. I can do good work.
We'll be visiting, and I will make sure I try it on you.
Okay, fine.
I
We have a
tried.
piece of land here. We have
Not
a
this
farm.
one, not this one.
No, I'm saying we have a farm here. Why don't you take a challenge? Everybody to be given. The CEO is watching, I'm sure. The director is watching.
No, I'm saying
No. Like, fine. Let's start by here. We
Where the
start
land-
home.
where the land is a bit.
The virgin land.
Yes.
It's fine. I'm past that.
You
No.
sure you can?
You know when I said, do you know the year I started farming? We could go to the farm. Personally, from where I come from, when it's time for planting, the season for planting, wherever you are, you will come home. We are not hiring laborers. We don't hire laborers. You are always told,
Those are typical African.
and we love that. Yeah, we love that because
You're in school, just make sure you.
yeah, because by that time you'll be not you'll have closed
around
school.
holiday,
You are on holiday.
Yes.
Come home. We are planting. You have no option. What do you do? Home. Go dig.
Now,
Jembe, sawa. Panda mahindi.
go to the next. We are looking at some of the available credit facilities available, financial institutions that are mainly meant for women or women can take advantage of. There is a question that has been asked, especially on the issue of land. I think the issue of land
It's
has
a
lot-
trigger.
yes,
It's a
a
trigger.
lot of issues that surround the whole thing. So the question is, there are families that don't have ladies, okay, and they don't have ladies, and they have no one to inherit the land. That's number one. Number two, what will that family do? Or there are families that have ladies but don't have land.
That's a different case. Okay, if I speak from the point of a family that has men, they have land,
They have both land.
they have land and men.
Men and women. That is sons and daughters.
They have sons and daughters,
Yes.
they have land.
Yes. And there is a parent to divide the land.
See, definitely they have to divide it equally. If there are 5 sons and you have 5 acres, each to have 1 acre.
So if you incorporate daughters, do they get an equal share of land as the sons?
Definitely, all your kids are equal. It doesn't matter the gender. Okay, if you really wanted sons only, you could have called God and be like, God, I only need sons. Don't give me daughters.
Okay, I don't know.
And the other one, which is asking, what if you have only daughters and you don't have land to inherit? Okay, daughters go their way out. Always. They will always go their way out. Okay, not all daughters will get married. Okay, I don't know what's always the issue. But I don't know. In most families, not all daughters get married.
Well, and again, that cuts across different
Cultures,
All the daughters are married off.
Yeah,
others-
okay, if they're all married, the husbands will definitely have land. Because men are always considered that they'll always inherit land. But for we daughters who believe in ourselves, for us who are self-made, we go out. Like, we go all our way out to make sure we purchase land and have our title deeds on our names.
So let me ask you. This is another question. So today you get land. Today your husband saying that you get married one day. So your husband gets land. Is it wise if he incorporates your name in the title deed?
Okay, once the
Or
concept,
incorporate your son,
the
or your
concept,
daughter?
the concept of marriage is once you get married, the two of you become one. So definitely that land title deed name should be both of us.
Okay, then what about if it happens the other way?
Okay, I'm not forcing it anyway.
of course
It's your
it's
wish.
your view.
If you want it to be either on my name or our kids' names, doesn't matter. But the issue of inheritance, I don't think I'll ever do that of like, okay, I'm taking this land, in dividing it to my kids. I worked hard for it. You to do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I feel this laziness.
So what happens?
The only people who are supposed to be, I feel like, is despite the issue of family land issues. Okay, land has a lot of issues. I feel like, personally, I have my way out, which I don't want to mention it because that's my secret.
So what happens? What happens? I think the greatest issue is the whole issue of inherited land, and we can all agree that in our African setup that has really disadvantaged women. I think there was a whole concept of you are leaving this land for these sons because you're going to your husband and your husband has land.
Yeah.
There was that whole concept. So we never factored in that you might get married to a man who doesn't have land.
And also you might get to marry to a man and divorce.
Don't say who's. Oh, I thought you said who's lazy.
I'm unpredictable.
Yes.
And you divorce. Where are you going back?
But
you have to have your own, at least something where you can come back home to.
I was talking to one gentleman as I was going to one of the sub-counties in Central Province, and he told me that inherited land is never sold. And if it's sold, you must buy land to replace the other one. And this was because of some of the government projects that are going over that place. And there are people who are
evacuated.
Yes. So there was a whole issue of you had buried your grandfather in that land. So are you going to leave the casket and everything there, or are you going to, unamfukua? What do you call it in English? Unamfukua. And you go bury them at another place. So there was a whole issue of it's kind of traumatizing. But the point is, even if you sell the land, or you are there is that whole government project thing that is happening, you must buy land to replace the original land that was given to you. Okay. And the main issue with that one was what you have said about you might be divorced. Okay. So you realize that you go and you get divorced. So if you're divorced or anything happens to your marriage, you have a place to go back home.
That's a plan. But do you exhume the body that was being, let's say, buried like 20 years ago?
It's a whole issue of land.
Okay, land. Okay, I understand that. But I know. Okay, I don't know what in Kenya. Okay, let's say in Africa. If you buy land, if you sell inherited land, and you don't have a plan to use that money, and you just decide to eat it, let me tell you, you'll keep on selling. I've seen someone who just sold 10 acres and he has no achievement.
So
nothing, no achievement at all. Like since I don't know why, but I think inherited land has something to do with the traditions and all that. And I've heard of that, like where you're saying that if you sell inherited land, you have to purchase another piece of land to replace it, which is fine. But what if I'm selling the piece of land and I'm going to another country?
Well, it's inherited, and that's subject of discussion depending on the
that is
you come from.
Yeah.
But what we can agree is that women have had a bigger challenge in terms of land inherited.
Inheritance,
accessing land. I think that's kind of tricky for them. What are available institutions for women to access funds easily? They are meant for women.
Okay, there are several. We have several. I don't know if you're going to mention them. They're going to give us credits. Okay, we'll give them credits.
It's for the interest of you.
Women. Okay, we have Kenya Women, the bank, Kenya Women. KWFT, yes. Finance Bank for women. This one gives women loans and all that. So, and we have table banking groups also.
Yes.
We have NGOs that cares about women. There are so many. It all depends with where you are and how accessible are they from your region.
Yes.
So where you are also matters. So it depends.
And I think it's important to just make sure we also use our gadgets to get some of this information, and also keep tuning to our farmers media.
Yeah.
To get some of this information will come in handy in propelling your agriculture. We said that we need to run our agriculture, the farm, that small farm, as an enterprise. In short, we need to run it with the mindset of an agribusiness.
Yeah.
Okay. Market oriented, profit oriented.
Yeah.
We want to maximize our profit. We want to ensure that we are farming and we are less affected by the whole issue of flooding in the market.
Yeah.
That's the main aim.
Okay, and the other problem that women are facing is the accessibility to the market due to the limited mobility, lack of information, and gender-based discrimination. And if you provide the markets and market information, you can help a woman increase their income and reduce their dependence on the subsistence farming, and therefore you contribute to the economic growth. So definitely the issue of market, once there's that barrier created, like the discrimination of you're a woman, there's no information. You find out that men be like, they talk side to side because it's a woman selling 90 kg bag of maize goes for around 6,000 or 5,500, and they be like, okay, because she's a woman, the men talk aside and be like, let's buy it at 3,000. 3,000, because a woman is like, okay, she needs that money, she needs to do that, she just has to sell it at some point. But you have aggressive women out here who knows where they're done, what they're doing.
It's a big up for, and especially I wanna acknowledge those women who are in agribusiness and they are confident enough to tell their story.
Yeah.
Confident enough to tell their story.
Yeah.
And I think we can highlight them. You just hit us up in any of our social media handles. On anyone, we need to highlight their story. Any woman who has a success story, any woman who is beginning something that is
inspiring. Yeah.
Yes. We can highlight them here. We can check out their social media platform.
And also, you can also tag them along.
Yes.
Just comment their name and we'll look for them. Call them in studio and they'll feel inspired.
Yes, have one-on-one.
Yeah, well, let's look at the success approaches for empowering women in agriculture. Like, what are some of these approaches that we can do as we wind up to give a success story in empowering a woman? First of all, if you provide education and training in agricultural practices, financial management, and entrepreneurship, you're definitely going to empower them.
Those are important skills for
anyone. Yeah. Training, financial management, and entrepreneurship. They will really empower them.
Yes.
The other one, if you promote the gender equality, the factor of gender equality and addressing the gender-based violence in agricultural settings, we're going to help them a lot. Because if you follow up on the cases on the gender-based violence, the ones reported, you follow up and solve them and put a strong maybe punishment or a strategy that is going to guard the gender equality, we are going to curb the issue of gender-based violence and promote gender equity. Gender equity, I didn't say equality, equity. Go find out the meaning of gender equity. The difference between gender equity and gender equality.
I think for me, I'll go with equity over equality. I think equity
matters. Yeah, equity, not equality. We can't be.
Equity.
Yeah, we can be equity. And also by providing secure land tenure and legal protection for women's land rights. Very important. If we do this, we are going far.
We will be empowering the woman, giving her confidence.
Yeah.
The same confidence that other women have in
other fields,
running for political seats. And I think that has come in handy, and many other things that women are doing, I think that one will come in handy. And I think we'll have achieved one of the greatest sustainable way of ensuring that there is food and ensuring that there are profits and money.
And the other one, if you're providing the financial services tailored to women's needs and promoting the use of appropriate technologies, then we are doing good. Last but not least, promoting access to markets and market information.
Okay.
Access to market and market information. Very important. Very important. So, that's it from my end. So, like, I like to conclude from my end. Like, the women contribution to agriculture is critical. It's critical for, sustaining the life in our country, the other country. So if you empower women in agriculture, you promote gender equity and increase women's leadership and innovation in the sector, we are going to achieve sustainable development for food security.
Yes.
Sustainable development and food security, and therefore addressing gender inequality in agriculture requires a global and local approach. We have to get into the local and the global, and therefore you involve policymakers, private sector, civil society, and women themselves. We can't be speaking of women and they're not involved. So if we involve women, therefore we're going to promoting the gender promoting the gender equity now in the agriculture can lead to, decarbonization and poverty reduction and human rights advancement. That's all from me. Like, let's empower women. Women empowerment. Yeah.
We'll close it there for this drive. Okay, drive. And I think it has been an awesome conversation.
Yeah, it's been awesome. I wish we could be doing it for 3 hours because I feel left out. Because I like talking, I like conversing, especially when it includes me, Yeah.
Especially if it's one of your kind. What are your final words as we wrap it up?
Be wise. Be wise in everything you do. Yeah, be wise and make sure you make the right decisions. We are Africans and Africa is our business.
Wow, it's beautiful. It has been a beautiful moment. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the questions that have been asked. We'll continue focusing on many of these. And in the final ones, it is God who gives men what they should feed on, what they should eat. It is He who gives you sleep. Even today as you rest, you have done it well, you have done it better. Take rest. Tomorrow, tunaanza. Na kesho, itajipa. Thank you for tuning in. This is Farm Drive and this is Farmers Media. My name is Gyoshembogwa and
of course, the one and only Boss Queen KE. Make sure you follow all our social media platforms at Farmers Media and also Boss Queen _KE on all social media platforms. Remember to keep it a farmers. Catch us tomorrow, same time, same place. And tomorrow, don't forget to tune in for breakfast show from 7:30 a.m. At Farmers Media, this is where we connect, learn, and grow. See you.
Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Have a blessed evening.
Adios.
Thank you.
The heart of any shamba lies in its soil. Because soil is so precious, it needs to be managed really carefully. A good place to start is with a soil test. This will tell you how healthy your soil is, its pH levels, what type of soil it is, which crops you can grow in your soil, and advice on which fertilizer is best to use. If you follow the soil test recommendations, it can boost your yields. So, how do you take a soil test sample? Firstly, Dig up soil samples. Use a soil auger or panga to take a sample 1 feet deep in a zigzag pattern across your shamba. You will need at least 10 samples. Mix all the different samples together in a bucket. The soil is now ready to be scanned and tested. You can find out about how to get your soil tested by contacting your extension officer. Alternatively, contact a Ministry of Agriculture research station near you. A soil test costs about as much as 1 bag of maize. You should do a soil test at least every 3 to 5 years.